Alright guys, so we are into day 3 of the build. What did day 2 consist of? Me falling asleep in my chair. So nothing happened on day 2. But day 3, you can see here I already got 2 additional cross sections. This alone isn't strong enough. I need to have some pieces in the center here to give it more stability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some scrap pieces that came off from the top here, and I'll cut them down to the right length and then peg them in. You can see here on the side I got some black dots. What those black dots are just nails from to put up paint pictures and stuff. Picture nails, basically, that's all it is. You can just push them in by hand. One slipped on me and tore a little bit, but I can just cover that up. Really, that's about it. I just gotta cut these down to fit in here, and then I'll nail those as well. I think probably what I might just do is maybe two on the inside, 2 on the outside, and maybe just 1 on the outside centerpiece, and that should give enough stability for when it rocks. Because right now I can, if I was to put my hands on both sides, I could just push it and fold it in half. So that's it for right now. More when I have the bracers put in. All right, so I got 4 cross sections in. You can see here, there, and then 2 in the back there. And really, after I started putting 1 just in one corner, it was already giving it stability. So 4 is good. I don't even think I really need the center one. Right now, what I'm kind of just doing is I was zealous with the glue, so I'm kind of just waiting for the glue to drop dripping here. And then after that, then I will move it, because this area here is where I've been cutting the foam board, and I really can't clear another area to do any foam board cutting. So I'm gonna just wait for the glue to dry and go on to the next part. Then next parts would be to build the floorboard, the side, and the roof section for both sides. And I still have yet to do the back part of the cathedral, but that's no big deal. Yeah, so really right now I'm just waiting for all this excess glue to stop dripping, and then I'll go on from there. So we are into day 5, and I really haven't gotten very far. So today's going to be cram day. I got the floor for the roof part of the main section of the citadel, well, one section of the citadel, put together and waiting for the glue to dry. There were some fitting issues on this side. These pieces here weren't all cut evenly, so I had to shave some of the sides off in order to get a good alignment. One thing I didn't pay attention to when I was cutting the pieces down was that well, because I was just cutting them down fast to get it put together, it's not going to be the most accurate of designs. So that's all I have to say, because there's a lot of stuff to point out that would make it where measurements didn't line up. And it's not that I wasn't measuring my pieces right, but when it comes to cutting, I'm using a straight edge and a razor, so depending on how I have my hand when I'm cutting with the razor and how I have the straight edge. It's just going to cut each piece just a little bit different. So I'm not going to have pieces that are going to be 100% accurate to size. But anyways, I gotta wait for this part here to dry better before I can put the roof on it, and then it should be complete. So now I'm working on the second half of the citadel while this is drying. Alright guys, so working on the dome section, or basically section 2 of the cathedral, and I'm measuring out my lines for cutting. Now you can see here I got a triangle here to kind of help give me straight edges as far as for cutting. But one thing you gotta keep in mind though is that not everything that's cut is going to have a 100% angle to it. So if you're using this edge as like your edge like I am, just keep in mind that maybe this edge is going to be different compared to that edge when you are doing it, just because of the fact that nothing gets cut 100% straight. I know that for a fact working with paper. I know that all kinds of paper that I get in a ream is different from the next ream. So that's just a quick thing here, but I mean, to help straighten it out, just using a triangle, I thought I'd just show that. And the section here is going to be 24 inches wide, 18 inches tall. So more to come when I get that laid out and cut. Alright guys, so I ran into a situation here where I wasn't following my reference, which is this sketch here. I had cut out the part here. Let's see if I can do this. No. Alright. But anyways, I cut out this first panel here for the tower and the back part of the cathedral. And you can see here that there's no catwalk or anything along the edge here. But when I was cutting it in the same dimensions as the front part. So what happened is when I came to just dry fitting it to the back of the cathedral here, something didn't line up right. I was going, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? This is not looking right. It turns out that because the back section does not have the catwalk, I had cut it 3 inches too short. So what you can see here then is I just cut the 3 inches that I needed out of the section where I've already cut it out from, and that way then I knew that the cuts would be pretty lined up. And then I just glued some strips of foam core that I already had pre-cut out from a previous project, and I just glued it on there. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry. So there was just a mistake of not following my reference material. I just wanted to show that this is what is left of the foam board that I started off with from day one. I'm actually pretty pleased that I was able to salvage most of the board for the build. You can see here, this is where the second part of the cathedral was cut out from, so there's really nothing left to do that, so I'll have to pull out one of my other boards and cut out that section there. I'm pretty much won't be able to use any more of this board for the build. I'll be able to cut it down for some smaller strips that I gotta use for the exterior look. But I'm actually quite pleased that I was able to use the full board. I even used sections that had bad lines. You can see there right here. On the other side of the wall there's like some cracks and stuff too. And you know what? It's terrain. And one thing about terrain that I know about is that it doesn't really endure on a gaming table. So does it have to look pristine? No, it doesn't. So anyways, yeah, I'm actually pretty pleased I was able to salvage what I could out of that board. Alright, so I'm kind of waiting for parts to dry here. So I think what I might do is go ahead and sit down, watch some YouTube videos, and edit what I have here so far. But that's part of the second section. Here's part of the second section. You can see here I'm just using some scrap angle pieces that were cut from the build, and should help to add these side panels a lot more easier to the piece. So I'm just waiting for those to dry, make it easier. Hopefully I won't have to use nails like I did for this one. I got some glue beaded along the edges here on these sides here. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, probably about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I will adhere the roof to it. So this is just where I'm at so far with the roof to this, and then the rest of it will be just cosmetic. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna wait for this to dry for about 30 minutes, then I'm gonna mount the board to it, and then I'm gonna let it dry, and then while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'll bead this other section here. Unfortunately, this part here is a little higher. I don't know what happened there. Must not have cut it straight on the line. But to shave it off is just going to be too much work. I just don't have the time to really try to make it as accurate as possible. But then, so while this is drying, I'll bead the opposite side, and then after a half hour of drying, then I will seal the other side. Because really it needs to be sealed on one side, because it is otherwise, if I don't wait for one side to seal and then try to add pressure to the other side, this side's gonna pop up. So yeah, I'm gonna sit down, edit what I got here, probably go get something to eat, and then come back and then finish the back half of the cathedral. Or at least, start working on it. I doubt I'll be done with this until later tonight. Alright, more to come.